Good morning from Disturbia on the 2nd of June, 2024. I made a video, I'm not even sure when, a year or two ago, about Messiah stemming from the tribe of Ephraim. And of course, I've taken some flack for it. There are some that realize that it's the truth because they've read their Bible. And there are others that are continually quoting Revelation 5:5. There's also an erroneous statement made in, as probably purportedly a second witness, in Hebrews saying that obviously David stemmed from Judah. Well, what's so obvious about it? I've been told recently that I'm cherry picking. Well, I'm not cherry picking. I'm reading the Bible line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little, and what does not align with the character of God, His laws, His precepts, His statutes, line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little, you must discard. Now, what happened is that there is a conspiracy afoot to make us believe that the Messiah is of Judah because Esau is calling himself a Jew of Judah. And he wants to make you believe that he is the firstborn son with the birthright. He was the firstborn son, but the birthright he sold to his brother Jacob. God also told Rebekah before Jacob and Esau were born that the birthright would go to Jacob, which probably was a mistake. Not really a mistake. God doesn't make mistakes, but it's interesting how He tests us. If you know something in advance, you're going to do whatever you can and scheme to make it turn out in such a way. But had He not told Rebekah, it would have happened His way. And this is what happens when mankind wants to take control. And this is exactly what Esau has done. He's tried to take control. He's changed the scriptures. You're going to get people who say, well, that can't be because either it's all correct or it's all wrong. It's like putting a drop of poison in a soup. You know, this is a meme. The forces that should not be always have their pat answers. They always have their catalog of seemingly unanswerable queries so that you back down from your stance, which is the truth. The thing is, if you take the whole Bible into consideration, you'll see that, for example, if you read Revelation 5:5, let's take a look at it now. And one of the elders saith unto me, Weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, prevailed to open the book, to loose the seven seals thereof. And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne and the four beasts, in the midst of the elders stood a lamb, slain, having 7 horns, 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God sent forth into all the earth. He came and took the book out of the right hand of him that sat upon the throne. When he had taken the book, the 4 beasts and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, having every one of them harps and golden vials full of odors, which are the prayers of the saints. Revelation 6:1. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were, the noise of thunder, one of the 4 beasts saying, Come and see. If you read all through Revelation, I don't know how often it talks about the Lamb of God slain from the foundation of the earth, Revelation 13:8, 1 Peter 1:19. So we've got here the Lion of Judah and the Lamb. Which is it going to be? I understand that in Hebrews it does say that it's obvious that the Messiah sprang from Judah. It's not obvious. It's not obvious at all because if you read in Genesis, there's no way that you can believe Judah was the 4th born son of Leah. Judah married a Canaanite woman who died. His first two sons were struck dead. They were so evil. Judah did not want to give the widow of one of his sons to his son Shelah. And so she took revenge on Judah and fornicated with him on the street. She dressed up as a harlot. And the product of that was twins, the issue. And they're telling us that, and we know that Tamar is an Edomite. Esau even admits that Tamar is an Edomite. Just look it up. So you see, the thing is, people who adhere to the Messiah being the Lion of the tribe of Judah open their eyes to Revelation 5:5 and close their eyes to the rest of the Bible. They're not reading how Judah sold his brother Joseph into slavery. That is a capital offense worthy of death, according to the Bible. You do not sell a man, or a woman for that matter, without punishment occurring. Joseph told his brothers about his dream. Joseph got the coat from his father. They were very envious and jealous, including Judah, who was the ringleader of all of them. Judah, Levi, and Simeon, they were thick as thieves. And what does Jacob say about all three of them in Genesis 49? They are so cruel. I don't even want to have anything to do with them. O my soul, come not into their habitation. It says, come not into their secret. I don't even want to know what they're scheming. They're so wicked. There are stories in the Bible about them. Just read them. You must read the Bible. And not just adhere to what you've been told. That's what a lot of people do. They I can't read the Bible, just go to church. They wouldn't lie to me. Adam and Eve in the garden. Well, he wouldn't lie to us, yes, but what about God? God does not lie. You have two strands running through the Bible, a true story and a lie. You have the truth and you have the lie, including in the Bible. You'll get people that say, well, God must be able to preserve his word, otherwise I'm going to have a breakdown. Well, you go ahead and have a breakdown, because there are lies in the Bible. For example, circumcision. God did not make a man every whit whole in order to have him cut up on the Sabbath day. That's exactly what Jesus says in John 7, starting at, I think, 20. And yet, how many boys are maimed because of this belief? Esau has taken total control of people's minds. And guess what? It's your fault. If you have the mind of Christ, you got to figure this thing out. We still have time. That's all we have. Well, let's put it this way. That's all Satan has. And we still have time, while we still breathe, that we can figure out what the truth is. And it can be done. If I can do it, anybody can do it. That's why I make these videos. I mean, it's obvious that I've got a lot of shortcomings. I'm not the most eloquent. I'm not the most intelligent. But it doesn't matter, because if you want to know the truth, God will give it to you. He will put it in your mind. That's how God works, very supernaturally. Just like he put it in the minds of the Israelites. Go back to the place of your nativity. Meet the Messiah there. And they went all the way from Assyria back down into Israel. Probably also the mother and father, worldly mother and father of the Messiah, left their captivity. Read Jeremiah 46:16. Read Isaiah 60. Ezekiel, I believe it's 12:17. The two sticks were joined. Judah, the Greek, and the Israelite. There's a lot of things been changed in the Bible, particularly Paul changes a lot of things. but he gets a lot of things right. I don't even know if it was, we do not know, but the wonderful thing is we will know at the great white throne. That's my belief. Just as when we see the Messiah, we will be like him because we will see him as he is. God is going to pronounce verdicts and judgments that we just are going to be out of this world. It's going to be awesome and awful at the same time for everybody involved. I don't think one person will even speak one word. It's only going to be God speaking. Finally, the Word speaking his word and his final pronouncements. But anyway, I mean, the problem is here also that you've got this conundrum of Bethlehem, Judah. You're going to find it in Micah. You're going to find it in Samuel. You're going to find it in Ruth. The point and the issue is that the Messiah, who is the bread of life, the living waters, the door, the way, the truth, the resurrection, and the life, he was born in the city of David, which is Bethlehem, which means house of bread. Bethlehem, house of bread. And Bethlehem was located in Israel. If you read Samuel carefully, you will see that it calls David an Ephraimite. And then very quickly adds Bethlehem, Judah. No, he was an Ephraimite of Bethlehem, which is in Israel and Galilee. And Bethlehem, Judah, was only fortified and given that name by Rehoboam, which is the son of Solomon, which is the son of David. In other words, Bethlehem, the first Bethlehem, the true Bethlehem, where the Messiah was born, where David was born, was established long before this Bethlehem, Judah, which was only created in order to cause confusion. That's what Babylon means. Confusion. Babel-on. Bab-el. Bob. Which is another name for Satan, Bob. If you ever saw Twin Peaks, his name was Bob. Babel, Bob. Completely insane. So, even in the book of Ruth, it talks about how they were Ephraimites. Ephraim is actually synonymous with Israel. And the Messiah was born the same place where King David was born, which is Bethlehem, Israel. David says in Samuel, "Who am I and who is my family in Israel?" He does not say Judah because he was not of Judah. This adherence to Judah is irrational. You've got irrational things in the Bible. Like I say, circumcision is one of them. It's violent. And it just does not align with the character of God, who creates us whole and perfect. And then you have Satan, who wants to put the iron into the clay. Just look at the earth. God created mankind good, very good. The earth, good, very good. The earth and the heavens and the seas and everything in them, very good. Why is he allowing it to be corrupted? That can't be. That's not possible. Then it's not of God, is it? It must be of Satan. Satan must have created it. You see, these are the perverted thought. This is perversion. And I mean, I can't convince anybody. I don't want to sell anybody on this. It's just that I recently got this comment saying, what about Revelation 5:5? What about the rest of the Bible? Telling me that I'm cherry picking, and he picks out one verse. And if I don't adhere to that, then I'm cherry picking. You see, this is how Satan works. He wants to blindside people and knock you off balance. That's what Satan's all about. He's about Babel, and he's about being off balance. As above, so below. You can't get any more off the charts unbalanced than that. If we have the mind of Christ, we have a sound mind, not an unbalanced mind. But everybody can decide from themselves what they want to believe. So this is just really a recap of David being an Ephraimite. You can't just read Revelation 5:5 and Hebrews, I believe it's Hebrews 4, saying that Messiah, it's obvious that Messiah stems from Judah. What's so obvious about it? God chooses. David was the seventh born. Jacob was born after Esau. Esau was kicking Jacob in the womb. Joseph had a dream, and the dream that he prophesied to his brothers was fulfilled. They all bowed to Joseph because he fed them with bread and water. Living bread, living water. And Joseph stood head and shoulders and even higher above his brothers because he forgave them and they didn't know what to say to him. That's probably how it's going to be at the Great White Throne. God forgives us, and we don't know what to say. We're speechless. And because he said, I know what you did to me, but God meant it for good. God works everything out to the good for those who love him and who are called according to his purpose. So Judah bowed down. If you read carefully the whole story of Joseph going down to Egypt and the brothers having to go down, you will see that Judah was always vying for the firstborn status with Reuben. And Jacob was so disgusted with Reuben for having slept with his concubine, and that Jacob almost always acquiesced to Judah. But if you actually read the Bible, you see people go on hearsay, and that isn't what you should do. We have to actually study the Bible. I'm not a great studier, really. You know, there are people out there, I'm astounded, Satanists even. Wowee, they're reading the Bible day and night, perverting it, inverting it, subverting it, distorting it. And they know the thing backwards and forwards, just like their father, the devil. So just take a chapter a day, 2 chapters a day, read from the very beginning, and you'll see what I mean. Thank God I was not biased by my church about this Lion of the Tribe of Judah thing. But I'll tell you what, if you go on YouTube and you look up Christian channels, many of them have that lion on there. And that's going to be one of your first clues that they worship the Lion of the Tribe of Judah, who is Satan, prowling around as a ravening lion, seeking who he may devour. So if you read Genesis 48, you'll realize that the whole chapter is dedicated to Joseph and his 2 children, who Jacob put before his own, because they were better than all the other ones. This is a prophecy. He knew the end from the beginning in this case. Go over onto, and he put the younger before the older. And there's a lot of hatred there between Manasseh and Ephraim. Just read Judges. Chapter 49, Genesis. What does it say? It talks about the blessing of Joseph. Joseph is a fruitful bough. Fruit. Bough. A living tree. Even a fruitful bough by a well. Water. Living water. Whose branches run over the wall. Messiah is of the branch of Joseph, not Judah. The archers have sorely grieved him and shot at him and hated him. This is the fate of all Christians. True Christians, true believers in Messiah. But his bow abode in strength, or his bow. And the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty God of Jacob. From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel. It tells you right there where the shepherd of Israel is coming from. He's coming from Joseph. It says so right there. No, the Messiah is the Lion of the tribe of Judah. It says so in Revelation 5:5. Well, you're faced here with a conundrum, and you've got to make up your mind what you're going to believe. There's so much context given for Joseph, and only one or two lines erroneously thrown in for Judah, which had to be in order for people to believe it, but it's not true. Even by the God of thy father, who shall help thee, and by the Almighty, who shall bless thee with the blessings of heaven above, blessings of the deep that lieth under, blessings of the breast and of the womb, the blessings of thy father have prevailed above the blessings of my progenitors unto the utmost bound of the everlasting hills. They shall be upon the head of Joseph, and the crown of the head of him that was separate from his brethren. What does separate mean? Holy. Joseph was a holy man, and the Holy One of Israel derives from Joseph. Amen.